Today is we're going to be encoding a message. So what I'll have, what I'll be giving you in encoding a message is these sheets that I have identified number sequences to the 26 letters that we have in our alphabet, right? So if in your English message you have the letter A, you're going to translate that into the letter 1 for your matrices, okay? Now so we're going to do that. Let's say we had a message that read something like, hello you. All right? That's the message you're going to give to your partner. Your message has to be considerably longer. Now you don't write a paragraph, but give them a few sentences with a few symbols to decode. So you're going to write a message, a special message to just your partner, and you're going to encode this. So if I just look at my sheet and I go give the numbers that correspond to these letters, help me out. What's the H? 8. What's the E?
5.
What's the L?
12.
And there's 2 of those, right?
Yeah.
What's the O? 15. And now what's the next symbol that I need?
Space.
0.
Space. If you'll notice I put space, I've given it the 0 number. So I'm going to put 0 in there for the space. And then the next one is?
21.
U is 21, David? 21. So there's my message. If I just did that, would it be possible for somebody to somewhat easily decode? If they didn't know what you were doing, they could probably figure out pretty quick. With some time, knowing the English alphabet to be able to translate that or decode. We're going to see how to decode in just a minute. So we've got to do more than that. So the matrices that you've learned, how to write matrices, how to multiply matrices, how to find inverses, you have the skills that we're going to use to do this. By the way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You must have an even number of symbols in your message.
Can you just add a space at the end?
So what we're going to do, if you don't have an even number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, add a space to the end of your message so that you have an even, okay? Now what we're going to do with this is we're going to build a 2 by something matrix. 2 by something. A number of columns. You don't know the number of columns because what you're going to do is take the number of symbols that you have in your message and half them. Right? The first part of your message in the top row, right? The second part of your message in the second row. So since we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, this is going to be a 2 by 4. Right? So I'm just going to write this, and you're writing this down too, and so when I erase this in a minute I have to, you know what to do in encoding your message, right?
Of course not.
So we've got 8, we've got 5, we've got 12, and we've got 12, and then I start with 15, and I go 0, then I go 21, and I go 0. Filling in my message into my 2 by whatever, depending on how many symbols you have in your particular message. Mine's a 2 by 4. Now again, if that's all we do, that's what we try to get past the Imperial Guards, and they steal it, and they probably could decode that pretty easily, right? But here's what we're going to do to make sure that we can't. So that Obi-Wan gives it to Luke, they have to know this, and nobody else in the universe can. You want to pick a matrix, 2 by 2 in size, that you do not tell anybody else. It's what you and your partner knows and is going to be using to encode and decode each other's messages. This message, this 2 by 2 matrix has to have a determinant that is not 0 because we have to have one that has an inverse. We learned yesterday matrices that have a determinant of 0 do not have inverses. So it doesn't matter what you pick, but you must pick something that doesn't have 0 as a determinant. Are we okay?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah?
Yes.
6 minus 4. So the determinant
Minus 0.
is 6. This matrix. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So we can use that one. Alright? So what we're going to do is translate this hello you message. We're going to encode it with our matrix. By the way, I'll do it this way.
The determinant, the 2x2 matrix gets to the top.
Can I put the A matrix, 1, 0, 4, 6, can I write it there and multiply it to that message? Austin's saying this. Why not?
No.
Could you?
Yeah.
What's the dimension of this?
2 by 4.
What's the dimension of this?
2 by 2.
Can you?
No.
No. Yeah.
Nope.
Oh no.
Can't do it.
But can you put it the other way around?
Oh, yeah. So make sure that you understand, because of the configuration of your coded message, that you have to put your A matrix on the left-hand side. Because now it's 2 by 2, and yep, and what's the size of your answer? So you're going to have 2 by 4. 2 rows, 4 columns. So now let's go through. All we're doing now is just multiplying, right? Which, by the way, you've learned how to use a graphing calculator. You've learned how to edit a matrix. You've learned how to multiply matrices. Feel free to use those today as you're doing this, okay? But all I'm going to do is do it by hand real quick and just ask the question, where is it? I'm going to do it quickly because we've been through this a number of times, okay? Right, Elijah? Okay? Where is it? 1, 1. 1 by 1. So 1, 1. So I get first row, first column. 8 times
0. 0.
5 times
0.
anything changing in the top column. 12 times
0.
anything changing in that first column.
No.
Is hello changing? Or hell? Is hell changing?
Hell is, but hell is.
H-E-L-L is not changing, is it? H-E-L-L. It's not changing, is it? So we just learned something together that you might not want to do in case the Imperial Guards steal your message. You might not want a 1 and a 0 in a row or a column. I like zeros though, because it kind of makes the multiplying easier, doesn't it? Let's try 2, 0, which has, by the way, a different determinant. 12. Right? So let's try that. I'm just giving you, I purposely made that mistake, or did that, so that you would see as you're choosing your 2 by 2, that you and your partner share, that you don't get a 1, 1 row in there or column. 1, 0. Well,
Oh my gosh, I'm totally using this.
okay.
Encoding?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was supposed to be here at
I like
12:30.
cinnamon.
So thanks. Hold on.
You need a lot. Until I hang on. Okay, so. All right, so we're going to try this new matrix, not allowing 1 and 0 to be in a column or row, and let's do the multiplying again. First row, first column, 8. Sorry, that's a 2. 2 times 8 is, now it's changing. 16. 2 times 5.
10.
2 times 12.
24.
And 24, adding the 0. Let's go to the second column. Where is it? It's in the second row, first column. Second row, first column. 24 and 90.
Yes. Yes, Mr. Stevenson.
6 times 15
Yes, it's 90.
and 32.
32. It's 122.
2.
Whoa, Mr. Stevenson.
So let me just pause right here just for a second, because if somebody's thinking, oh, you got 26 letters in your alphabet, how are you going to translate that? I might think this is the 16th letter. I might think this is the 10th, and that's the 24th, and that's the 24th. But my God, there's not even 122 letters in the alphabet. So now you're really freaking with me, right? I don't know how to translate this. Okay, so let's keep going. First row, second column, first row, second. We've got 20 and 0. We've got 48 and 126. Certainly don't have 194
No, it's
letters
74.
in the alphabet. Is it 70? Thank you. Okay, don't go so fast like I'm trying to that you make mistakes. First row, last, we got 48 and 0.
That was easy.
And that is your matrix that is encoded. This is what you give your partner. This is the encoded message. This is what you both share. So you give each other this. You know what you decided on a 2x2 matrix. You write your matrix. Don't make it a paragraph. Make it more than 5 or 6, 8 letters. You give this matrix to your partner. This is what your partner is going to decode. Your partner's doing the same thing for you. Okay? Questions?
So will, I'll just go with H. Will H always be 16 no matter how you do it? Or will it change?
Based on this, it will change. You choose your 2x2. And that's not 8 anymore. Something I don't know what it is. Okay, so that's how you encode. You alright? You alright, Jedi captains? Yes?
Yes, sir.
How are we going to decode this? So I get this from my partner. I get, what, David?
Simplify.
What do you mean by that?
You have to divide everything by
12.
You multiply it by the inverse.
Okay, we could divide by the A matrix, but we're not going to divide. We're going to what? Multiply by the inverse. Right?
I mean,
Multiplying by 1/3 is the same as dividing by 3. Dividing by 3 is the same as multiplying by its inverse, 1/3. Okay? So what we learned in real numbers works for the matrices as well. I am going to take this matrix, but I'm going to multiply it by the inverse of the 2x2 matrix A that we agreed upon as partners to use. I'm going to multiply it by its inverse. Can I multiply it on this side? Can I put A inverse over here?
No.
Same configuration problem, right? I've got to put it on the left. It's 2x2. And when I do that, what is the inverse? Where is it? Oh, we haven't inverted it yet. Okay? We haven't done that yet, but you just took the quiz on that. You know well how to do it. You practiced 4 problems last night. You did great. I gave you another example of that today before we started the quiz.
6.
You've seen it a lot of times. You know how to invert and make it.
6, 0, negative 4, 2.
Okay? So go through the steps and do this A inverse matrix. Multiply it to the encoded message, and then you'll get this back. 8, 5, 12, 12, 15, 0, 21, 0. Then you go to your paper and say, well, what letter is 5? I'm sorry, 8. Oh, it's H. What letter is it? 5. Oh, it's E. Get the idea? And translate it back into English. So that even if the Imperial Guards steal your encoded message that you're trying to get to your partner, they can't translate it. Why? Because they don't know you're 2x2. This is what happened in World War II. I think it was World War II. This is how we encoded, what, Frank? Yeah, the Navajo. They made a movie out of it, right, or something, I heard. So this is what they did. So now you're learning how to do that. Here's what you turn into me paper-wise. You will give me your work that you're using to encode your message to your partner. You will then get the encoded message from your partner, write it on the paper, and show the work that you're using to decode that message. That's what you're handing in for a grade. I will be coming around monitoring how you do it. Questions? We are the Ask Academy.
No, we're not.
So if it had a really big message